Hey everybody, I was going to make some hard-boiled eggs, so I figured what the heck, I'll show you how to do it if you don't know how. I'm sure most people do, but not everyone knows how to do everything. Okay, so if you've got a container, I've got this what I call a food pot. It's great to boil eggs in. If you don't have something like this, just use a smaller pot so the eggs don't bounce around in them, because that way they're more likely to crack. I got 12 in here, so I'll just do this up so I can get it in the pot. Always start with cold water to boil eggs. Some people put vinegar. I find you don't actually need to do that. Now, I always keep a spare empty container after that I'm going to mark hard, so when you're going to make eggs, you know whether you've got fresh ones or hard boiled. So put your eggs in the pot of cold water. This thing comes with a clip too. I just love this thing. And start it on high heat. And wait for it to come to a full boil before you start timing it. So there's bubbles starting to come up in the water, but it's not at a full boil yet. You want to wait till it's at a rolling boil before you start your timer. Now, depending on your altitude, a whole bunch of other factors, and the size of the eggs, you want to boil them anywhere between 7 and 10 minutes on the clock. I like mine really well cooked, so I'm going to be doing the full 10 besides the really big eggs too. Now this is what they call a full rolling boil. So this is where you start your timer. So when the alarm goes off, get yourself a little bowl. Now, if you're not using a container like I am, get a slotted spoon like this to transfer the eggs one by one to a suitable size bowl. I only need something this size because I'm using the pot here. And I'll back up a bit so you can see this. Turn the heat off right away. And I just transfer that carefully to let that cool off for a minute on the counter. And what you do now is empty your pot of the boiling water and fill it back up with cold water, and then just put the eggs back in to cool off. So with the cold water running, slowly put them in. Now try not to run the cold water directly on the eggs. If you do that, they have a higher chance of cracking. That's quite full. And just let that sit for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, whatever you want. And just feel the eggs after. If they're still hot, change the water and do it again. So it's been 15 or 20. I'm just going to touch the eggs here. Yeah, they feel fine. I don't need to transfer them again. So what I'm going to do is just let this drip in that bowl. To dry out for a little bit, and then I'll wipe them off and put them back in the container. So once your eggs are cooled there, I just blot them off briefly with a paper towel before putting them away, just to keep the container longer. So that worked quite well. As you can see, none of them are broken. And no, these are not stunt eggs. These are the ones that just came out of the container. Now, one trick if you don't have two containers that I should show you. These are fresh eggs on the left. So I'll spin one of those. Let's hope it doesn't take off over the edge. See, you notice it doesn't really spin well. Okay, that's a raw egg. Here is a boiled egg. Look at that go, eh? So that's how you can tell your raw from your boiled. See, I can't even get this one to spin, and the other one is still going. Okay, so boiled eggs spin really well. Last thing I'm going to show you, if you don't know how to peel one of these easily, usually I just do this right over the sink, but I have a garburator, and not everybody does, so in the absence of a garburator, you can just do it on a paper towel. Just basically crack it on the counter several times, and if the pieces are small enough, it'll just come right off. I think I whacked it a little too hard. It seems to have cracked in one spot. Oops. Okay, and any little bits of eggshell you can just rinse under the top. And I'll just do one more to show you. So I'll crack it a little more gently this time. And you can also roll it between your hands, as long as you don't squeeze too hard and just get egg everywhere. Or also roll it like this. And all you have to do is catch an edge and it comes right off. Now, if somebody says, well, mine's stuck, that's because I'm sorry to say that your eggs are not fresh. One last word I forgot to mention before. When you cut it open, if you have got sort of greenish gray edges, either your eggs aren't fresh or you cooked them too long. So let's take a look at this. And I'll just cut through here carefully without cutting into myself. Oh, that's nice. See? Nice hard-boiled eggs. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.